Hi, I'm Janet, and today is day 25 of the 30-day yoga challenge. 30 beginning yoga classes, 30 days in a row, and each class right around 30 minutes long. And I've been hearing from you and seeing your comments to the videos, and I'm loving the feedback. I love it. I love this is working for you, but I'm also heard from a few of you that you're getting kind of sore. Yeah, sore shoulders, sore arms, sore back, knees, hips, all those things. And yep, that's a part of the process. That is a part of it, but there should be no sharp, acute pain. So if you're experiencing pain, back off, see your doctor. But if you're feeling like, yeah, I got some sore muscles from all of this, you're right on track. So today's class is to address those sore muscles by offering you as many modifications or options to the sequence that I'm teaching you as possible, as many as I can think of, as many as I know, along with a few extra stretches to help you stretch out some of those sore muscles. So let's begin as we often do in child's pose, but with the theme in mind. I want you to get a blanket and have 2 blocks nearby, and you might even use a strap, so have that nearby. Okay, so for the blanket, a lot of times coming onto your hands and knees can be a little bit painful. So for your knees, you could pad your knees. I often recommend that. So the knees wide, big toes touch is the way we normally do this child's pose, but for some people, it works better to have their knees together. So there's a couple of options for you. So choose the option that works well for you and then start to stretch forward, softening your forearms, your forehead down, even closing your eyes, and settle into your breath, checking in with your body, making adjustments so you feel a little more comfortable as needed. Slow down your breathing, seal your lips, and breathe in and out of your nose. Elongate the breath, breathe as long and slow, as deeply as you can, and allow the breath to be continuous. As soon as you reach the top of your inhalation, you begin to breathe out, and as soon as the breath flows out completely, the inhale begins, just like that, all the way through our shared practice today. Listen to the sound of the breath and see if it can sound a little whispery at the back of your throat. With your next breath in, rise up to tabletop. Come onto your hands and knees. Now, sometimes down dog is just a little too intense, so tabletop could be used to modify downward facing dog. You can always come back to it, but there's another option for you. It's called puppy pose. Let me share that with you. Walk your hands forward, maybe 6 inches or so, and then start to drop your chest down. Try to keep your knees aligned or your hips aligned over your knees as you stretch. So this is puppy pose. It's a modification or an option for downward facing dog. Coming back up to tabletop, maybe it isn't so much the stretch in the back of your legs, but it's your wrists. That's very common for the wrists to get a little tender. So you could try dolphin pose as a modification for downward facing dog. To do dolphin pose, you come down onto your forearms, your elbows and your palms stay shoulder width apart, and then send your hips up and back, and this becomes downward facing dog. Continue to press your chest back towards your thighs. As you stay here, you might pedal out the legs. And then for those of us that want the fullest expression, come back to tabletop, curl your toes under, push up and back to downward facing dog. So whichever version you're doing here, take a few more breaths. Maybe you're in dolphin, maybe you're in puppy pose, or maybe you decided that tabletop is best for you today. Now, if you are in tabletop or dolphin or puppy pose, take a quick stretch in down dog, and from down dog, look forward and walk to forward fold ragdoll version. So as you come forward, some options would include adding blocks to your practice beneath your palms. So that's one option. Please keep a bend to the knees, keep your feet separated. Decide what feels best for you. Reaching down, holding opposite elbows, that could work. Now, some people find that they get really dizzy with their head hanging. So another modification or option would be maybe to hold onto your blocks and hang forward, but keep your head lifted. So all these are choices so that you can get through These last few days of the 30-day challenge, we're almost there. Don't give up. Hang in there. Finding your way to standing, leaving the feet apart, leaving the knees bent, that's an option. That would be a modification. If you're feeling it today, bring your feet together to touch, decide what's best for you, soften your knees, and slowly begin to round upright to standing. Once you come all the way up, we'll circle our arms reaching high overhead. Bring your palms to touch, and as you exhale, slide your hands down to your heart space. Gaze softly down over your fingertips or close your eyes. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice in this posture, which is called Samastitihi, and means standing at attention or equal standing pose. You feel the weight of your body equal in both feet. And take this time to set an intention, perhaps joining me today, with the intention of, I am taking care of myself today. So breathe in that intention, take care of yourself today. And then as you breathe out, open your eyes and release your palms to your sides. So mountain pose is usually done in our practice with the arms reaching overhead so that we can use it for flow. But another version of mountain, a modification if you will, is to have your arms down at your sides with your palms forward, like I'm doing right now. There are many choices you can make here. Another option might be, instead of the arms overhead as we usually do, maybe your arms reach forward, easier on the shoulders. Take good care of your shoulders. My friend Kat, who's been on this trek with us to do 30 classes in 30 days, is telling me her shoulders are really bothering her. That's normal. Boy, that has happened to me through the years, on and off. The stronger I work, the more I feel it. So sometimes taking this modification, give it a try, Kat, see if it works for you, works better. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, hands move through heart center into a forward fold stretch. From forward fold, we're gonna halfway lift. I recommend bending the knees, maybe using blocks, or hands can rest on your legs as you lift up halfway. Squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other and gaze down and slightly forward, keeping a nice long flat back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, plant your palms and step back to downward facing dog. So that's the easiest modification. You're gonna be here for 3 breaths, so you can always come to your dolphin or tabletop. Or if you'd like, we're gonna go in through the modified yoga push-up by shifting forward and lowering to the knees. So in order to do the yoga push-up in a tabletop position, you might need to move your hands forward. You definitely move your shoulders forward. Really tuck your tail under, pull your belly in, shift forward, and keeping your elbows next to your body, lower all the way or halfway down to your yoga mat. So once you're there, really keep the elbows in nice and close and breathe in to lift to a low cobra, your head up, your heart up, your hands up. If your low back is tender, you could skip this altogether, just lowering part way and then pushing back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, push through tabletop, curl your toes under, and exhale, meet us in down dog. We're here for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, breathe in, breathe out. One more round, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, step to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. Let's move on to sun salutation B. Chair pose is how we begin, so sitting your hips down and reaching your arms high. Now that's the classic version, but here we're working on modifications. So lower your arms either right out in front of you, sit a little less deep. Separate your feet hip distance apart. So many choices. So decide which choice feels best for you. Find that version, breathe it in, and then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your palms, step back to down dog, easiest modification, or come forward to high plank, top of a push-up. Option to come down to your knees. So I'll do it from the knees since we're choosing the modifications today. Shifting forward, I lower halfway, squeezing my elbows in, and then lifting to upward facing dog. The tops of my feet will push into the mat. My arms will get strong and straight, rolling my shoulders down and back. So this is a strong posture. Choose Cobra if it's better for you. Breathe in and breathe out to come up and back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, breathe in and lift your right leg into the air. And as you exhale, we're gonna sweep the right foot through, placing it between the palms. Maybe you use your right hand, that often helps. And spin your back foot flat. Inhale brings us up to Warrior Two. So Warrior Two is usually a pretty deep lunge, knee over ankle. Pretty intense, very strong. A couple of choices, less depth and less length in the stretch. So separate your feet less distance apart if you're really struggling for strength here. Decide what works best for you. Find your modification. Sometimes it's in the arms and we need to leave the arms down. That's totally okay. It's always best to really honor your body. Take care of yourself today. Breathe in, reach forward, and exhale to extended side angle. Bring your right elbow to your right thigh. Decide how deep you want to lunge into the knees. Your left hand can reach up, and that could be intense for the left shoulder, so your arm can go down to your side. Square your shoulders and maybe gaze upward. Breathe in. Stay for your exhale. And inhale, reverse your warrior. Take your left hand down, reach your right hand high, check in with the front knee, bring a little lunge into it, less if you're really struggling, deeper if you can, reach your right hand high or your right arm can stay down to your side. So decide what feels best in your shoulders, what feels best through your body. Breathe in and exhale, cartwheel your hands down, and let's step to down dog. So those of you that feel like you really want to work that extra push-up, on or off the knees, take your time, do that. And then when you get to down dog, here we go, second side. Inhale, your left leg lifts up, and as you exhale, your left foot steps through. Take your left hand and pull it left foot forward. Spin the back foot flat, and rise to Warrior Two. Now really take some time to remember, what did you do on the first side? Maybe it wasn't quite as long of a lunge as I was demonstrating there. So matching it up. Maybe the arms need to be down if your shoulders and arms are just so tired right now. Take care of yourself, breathe in, and breathe out to extended side angle. Modify with the left elbow to the left thigh, reach the right hand high, or leave the right arm down your side. What works best for you? You get to choose. Breathe in, stay for your exhale. Inhale to reverse your warrior, maybe less lunge in the front knee today. Decide what's best, match both sides. Maybe your arm comes down to your side. Take a big breath in and exhale, bring your hands to the mat, step back to down dog, or flow through your high to low plank. Breathe into up dog, let's meet in down dog. From down dog, inhale, look forward, and exhale, step through. Have a seat on your mat. If you'd like, a sip of water or towel off if you need to. Take care of that and move the blanket out of the way. Alrighty, so we're gonna get into our core strengthening series. To come to your back, your feet are on the mat. Maybe hold on to your legs today. We're choosing a slightly easier option, just knowing that as we get through the rest of this 30-day challenge, you have some choices and hopefully this helps you. So as you lower all the way down, place your feet on the mat beneath your seat and let your knees fall open. Bring your fingertips behind your head. Breathe in, and as you exhale, lift. Now, just check in. How does that feel? If this is just too much, but you really want to work your abs, leave your head back on the mat and maybe just lift your feet up. And you're still working the abdomen in a little different way. That could hurt the lower back or cause discomfort. It won't cause an injury, but it can cause discomfort. Then maybe you just lay there and give a little bit of a lift and just hold there. And then lower down. Let's do two more, just like that, nice and easy. Exhale as you lift and hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lower. One more time. Exhale, lift and hold. And then lower all the way back down. Good. Let's take a stretch, breathe in, and as you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest. Okay, yogi bicycles. This is really a very strong practice. The yogi bicycles are challenging. So what I might recommend if your neck hurts or even the lower back is you leave your hands down by your side and simply send the left leg out at an angle and then switch. Good. Keep it going. So maybe this is not quite right for you. You want a little bit more, but maybe the lower back is tender, so leave your feet on the mat, take your fingers behind your head, breathe in as you exhale, lift and turn right. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and twist left. So there's a couple of options for you. Decide what option suits you best, and maybe today is the day you want to take the full expression. Take care of yourself. Just make sure you're exhaling as you lift and twist, and inhaling as you lower. Fantastic. Be sure you finish with the right elbow to the left knee, and then lay back down, hug your knees into your chest, and rock a little bit side to side. Does coming to seated here really cause you some challenge? If so, roll to your side and push yourself up. So that's a little bit easier than rocking and rolling along your spine. Boat poses next. So you want to find yourself seated on your mat with your feet on the mat right there, and fingertips behind your knees. Roll your shoulders down and back and sit up nice and tall. So just leaning back a little bit like this, you're feeling the abdominals engaged. Nice option to stay there. You're working it your way. Some of you might want more, maybe lifting the legs. You know the fullest expression if you're really feeling it. Straighten legs, straighten the arms, or take the modified version and hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way to your back with a full body stretch. Breathe in. And as you exhale, drive your knees in, rock gently side to side, and then change direction, coming up to seated. We meet in down dog. Figure out how you are going to get there. Alrighty. For this next part, I'd like to use a blanket under my knees. So if your knees are tender, you might grab a blanket, put it under your knees. Have your blocks nearby. They will absolutely be helpful if you're challenged in the crescent lunge series. So we'll come into downward facing dog. As you inhale, reach your right leg high, and exhale, bring your right foot between your thumbs. Use your right hand as needed to pull forward, and please lower to your left knee. Take the blocks to either side of the front foot, and you are doing it. That's crescent lunge. Now a nice easy twist is to keep your left hand on the block and reach your right hand high. Holding there, nice variations for 3, 2, 1, lowering your hand down. Can you see my left toes back there? They're curled under. That helps to stabilize my knee joint, and that helps if you're having some discomfort in the knee. Pick up the right block, toe heel your right foot to the upper right corner of the mat, and place the blocks down at the setting that feels most stable for you. I like it down here like this. Some people can go less deep and move the blocks up higher. Shift your hips forward and lower to your forearms. Good. Let your head hang heavy. Just breathe. Big stretch. Good. And then start to make your way back up onto the palms. Now, we're going to make our way to tabletop, hands and knees for a modified version of side plank. I'll move the blocks. Left palm comes to the center of the mat, under my left shoulder. I'm going to kick my left foot out, take my right leg, stretch it down the length of the mat, and reach my right hand high. So that's a nice modified side plank. This can be intense for the shoulders. Another option is to just skip it all together. Let's come back to down dog. From tabletop, curl your toes under, hips high, downward facing dog. All right, second side, breathe your left leg high and breathe out to step it between your thumbs. Please lower to the right knee and grab your blocks for the modified version of crescent lunge. Start to push your hips forward, just feeling the stretch. Good. Moving into the twist, lower your right block to its flattest, most stable setting and reach your left hand high, twisting open. Good. Of course, you can have the arm down if it hurts your shoulder. You got it. Nice. And then lower your left hand down, pick up the left block, toe heel your left foot to the outer left corner of the mat, placing the blocks down in front of you between your leg there, and come down to the forearms, just hanging out, stretching it out. Check in with your breathing. Nice moment to stretch, relax. Notice my back right toes are still curled under. That helps my right knee feel more comfortable in this position. Let's come back up onto the palms. I'll move the blocks out of the way. Making my way to tabletop for side plank variation, side 2, modified. Right palm under the right shoulder, right toes kick out, left leg reaches down and back, and left hand reaches high or arm can be down. Match both sides, maybe even looking up. We got this. Good, and then release back down. Let's meet in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, look forward and step to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Moving into prayer twist, sit into chair pose as high or as deep as you'd like. And as you exhale, we're going to twist the right arm back, left arm forward. So this is the modified version rather than hands at prayer position, or hands can be at prayer position staying upright, or the fullest expression is dipping down. So decide what's best for you. And then let's unravel back to chair and exhale to forward fold. For ragdoll, we might use blocks. Toe heel your feet apart, bend your knees a little or a lot, and just hang over your legs. What we usually do here is gorilla pose, where we tuck our palms face up beneath our feet. That's a really flexy pose. You can hold your ankles, that's another choice. And as you exhale, bow your elbows out and fold your body deep. Good. Release your hands. Bring your feet together and breathe into chair pose. For prayer twist, second side, circle your left hand down and back. Reach your right hand forward. So there's one modification. You can move higher if you need a little less chair today. Maybe hands to heart center. That's a nice choice. Or dipping down if that worked for you. Find what works for you. Hold there. Good. And then breathe in back to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Everybody's favorite, crow pose. Grab your blocks if you're using blocks today. For today, I think I'll demonstrate with just the one block for my forehead. Choose to skip it all together if you'd rather, waiting in child's pose, or my hands are behind the block, a good 6 inches or more. I come to a little squat with my knees resting on the back of my arms and my forehead rests on the block. And only if I'm feeling it and feeling stable, maybe today, I lift my feet. Good. Let's come back to child's pose and rest there. Whew, we're doing great. Nice to have choices, always responsible for your body. Settle in, just breathe. One more deep breath in. Stay for your exhale. On your next inhale, come up to tabletop position and exhale to down dog by curling your toes under, send your hips up and back. From down dog, look forward and step all the way forward. Let's soften the knees, round all the way up to standing. Circle your arms high overhead, bring your palms to touch, and exhale your hands to your heart space. Gaze down over your fingertips or close your eyes. As we practice on the mat self-care, we might think how we can grow this expression of self-care off the mat. Take time for yourself. What would that be? A nice soak in a bathtub, that helps sore muscles for sure. Blink your eyes open. Let's balance in tree pose. The modified version, shifting to the left foot, turn your right foot out, and make a little kickstand by your ankle, or hold on to a piece of furniture. If you want to bring it up higher, please take care of yourself. I'll demonstrate the modification, the little kickstand version. Then growing your branches, reaching your arms high, or choosing to keep your hands at heart center. How's your breath? Keep breathing. And then slowly release. Lower your right foot to the mat. Turn your left foot out and place it against the calf, maybe the ankle. Little kickstand for me today. Stay exactly there, or if you grew branches, reach high, or hands stay at heart center. Keep breathing slow and steady, smooth and even. Nice. And then release it. And come to standing at the top of the mat. Let's flow. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant your palms and step back to downward facing dog. I'm going to move the blanket out of my way. Let's take the right leg lifted up and exhale, step it through to low lunge. Come into warrior one. And for today's practice, shorten the stance. Step the left foot forward. Make it a smaller lunge. Lunge into the right knee and pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Stay as you are, reach both arms high overhead. If it bothers your arms can reach forward, or they could stay right there on your hips. Take care of yourself here. Breathe in. And exhale opens us up to warrior two. As you inhale, straighten the right leg, tip your hips back, and exhale, tilt. Perhaps your right hand rests on your right thigh as your left hand reaches high. If it hurts your left shoulder, leave your left arm down. Slide the hand down the leg, just so lightly resting there. And maybe begin to dial your right hip and right shoulder under as the left side opens up. Good. Take another breath here. And then breathe in to rise up. Turn your right foot inward. Inhale, find length, and exhale, fold forward. And for today, let's bring our hands down to the mat, right underneath us. Feel that support, and if you can't reach the mat, grab your block and place it beneath your hands. And then fold as deeply as you can. Take a couple more breaths here. Shift more body weight toward the balls of your feet. Good. And then sweep your arms out and breathe in to rise up. Exhale, turn the right foot out, bend into the right knee to warrior two. Inhale, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Good. Second side, breathe your left leg high, and as you exhale, place the left foot between your thumbs, shorten your stance for today's practice. Bumping the right foot forward a little bit, rise up and bring your hands to your hip creases. Lunging into the left knee, pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Decide how that works for you, maybe reaching both arms high, or keep your hands on your hips. Whatever you did on the first side, try to match it here on the second side. Breathe in, and as you exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left leg, and exhale, tilt over. Stay nice and lifted, modified, easier, slightly maybe more appropriate to really get your shoulders squared. And then start to slide the hand down, only as far as you can go without rounding forward. On your next inhale, rise up, turn your left foot in. Now usually we bring the hands behind the back, or for today's practice, maybe just take your hands down to the floor. So some modifications for wide-legged forward fold is to have your legs closer together. For some of you, you might find opening them up a little bit. Shift more body weight toward your toes than your heels and feel the stretch. Let's sweep the arms out and breathe in to rise all the way up. Exhale brings us into warrior two. Hold that warrior as you breathe in and breathe out to release. Both hands down, meet me in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll shift forward to plank, lower to the tummy, coming to the knees, a little bit easier today, and lowering down. Your chin comes to the mat, and your palms are close to your shoulders. Breathe in to lift your head up, heart up, and maybe keep your hands on the mat. That's always a choice. Lift just a little higher. One more breath, and breathe out to release your right cheek or temple to the mat. Rest your arms down by your side. Just relax. Taking a moment of surrender. So locust pose is one of those postures that can really be challenging for people. So you can separate your feet a little bit more. That's a nice choice, that's a modification. Take your arms out. If your low back is tender, leave your feet on the ground and simply lift up. Now if your low back feels pretty good and you want to challenge yourself, but maybe not too much, keep the feet separated as you lift. Maybe the legs come closer together if you're ready for more challenge. One more big breath in, and exhale, release down. Left cheek to the mat, arms by your side, relax. And then bring your chin to the mat. So floor bow is absolutely challenging, and one way to modify is to use a strap around your feet or a towel, or do one leg at a time. So bend your left knee, reach back and grab your left foot. Take your right hand, reach it out in front of you, and then as you push into the left foot, you might use your right arm to lift just a little higher. Good. And then lowering down, let's try the other side. Left hand comes forward, right foot kicks into the seat, right hand grabs the foot, and then push away. Maybe walk your left hand back, lifting into what we might call half a floor bow, one leg at a time. And then release that, let it go. Rest your opposite temple on the mat, relax, release, good. Couple breaths here. Let's push into tabletop and try one more back bend. Camel posture, your knees are hip distance apart. To make it a little gentler on yourself, place a blanket beneath your knees and come to standing on your knees. My favorite modification or adjustment for this posture is to curl my toes under. I just love that feeling. I feel secure and stable, and it's a little more stable for the knees, a little more comfortable for my knees. So just like floor bow, we'll do one side at a time. You reach your left hand back and see if you can grab a hold of your left heel, your left foot, and maybe reach your right hand high looking up. Just breathe a couple breaths there as your head falls back. Now, some people have challenges in the neck, so if your neck bothers you, just keep your chin on your chest. That's another way to get the back bend without aggravating the neck. Come all the way up and do the other side. Right hand to the right heel, and then my left hand reaches high. And if my neck feels okay, I look up and drop my head back. If my neck is bothersome, I'll keep my chin to my chest. Try to match what you did on both sides. You can carry the hand forward. And then come all the way up. Draw your knees and thighs together, sitting on your heels, and round over your thighs to counter stretch your back from all those back bends. And then slowly round up. Push up and back to downward facing dog. Our last down dog of the practice today. Settle in, enjoy. Really feeling good today. Breathe in. And as you exhale, look forward, step all the way through. Grab your strap. We're modifying things today, so a strap for a forward fold stretch. With your legs extended forward, unravel your strap. Maybe pull the flesh of your tush back to really feel that connection. And toss the strap over the balls of your feet. Try to keep your back nice and flat as you inhale and hinge forward as you exhale. Another great choice in any forward fold is to bend the knees. It takes the strain out of the back. Find the one that works best for you. Just breathe. Good. And then come all the way back up. Setting my strap aside. And I'm going to get the blanket out of the way. Let's come to lying on our back. So often we do pigeon from down dog, but today we're modifying or taking different options. So we'll do pigeon on our back. Supine pigeon. Come to lying down on your back with your feet close to your seat. Take your right leg extended up, bend your right knee and place your right ankle on your left thigh. Lift your gaze and thread the needle right hand between the legs, meets the left hand on the back of the left thigh. Push your right knee away from you and simply relax, recline. Now if this is too intense, leave your left foot on the mat. You want to be able to feel square in your hips and get a good stretch in the right hip. So if it's really uncomfortable to have that knee in toward your chest and makes the body feel all wonky, then put your foot back down. Take good care. Alrighty, good stretch. Release it. Second side, left leg kicks up. Bend the left knee, place the left ankle on the right thigh. Stay as you are, thread the needle. Left hand between the legs meets the right hand on the back of the right thigh as you lie back. Please match what you did on the first side. If it's really tight here, place your right foot on the mat. Keep opening the left knee. Go deeper, choose what's best for you. Stay connected, keep breathing. And then release. Let's take a real gentle twist. Leave your feet on the mat and let both knees drop to the left. Bring your arms out like the letter T and look to the right. Just let that soft, gentle twist. So that's a modification or an easier twist. You could take your knees up higher if you want more, or extending the left leg, right knee comes up. You decide. And then come back to center. Let's give our knees a little squeeze, neutralizing the twist. Feet on the mat for an easy twist. Knees draw right, and your gaze looks left. Go as light or as deep. Make any adjustments like you did on the first side. Good. And then unravel the twist. Draw both knees into your chest. Happy baby, reach up. Now if you can't reach your feet, grab your ankles. Grab your calves, draw your knees down, and rock gently side to side. Get as much of your spine onto the mat as you can. And then hug both knees in and release to Shavasana, relaxation. So a nice variation on Shavasana, a good option, especially if your low back is tender, is to place your feet on the outer edges of the mat and let your knees come together to touch. Close your eyes, feel relaxed and comfortable, making any adjustments to make yourself feel really settled in. And this is your opportunity to evaluate, how does your body feel? Are you having any aches and pains? Are your muscles sore? The joints feeling tender? Yoga is union, yoking together of body, mind, and breath. Feel that connection and know that you know what's best for your body better than anyone else. Slow down your breath, let go of control, just let it flow and relax. And as you relax and breathe, give your body the message, I'll take care of you. Together, we're getting stronger. We're gaining flexibility, improving our balance, and maybe most important of all, feeling a peaceful state of mind. Gently begin to wake up your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes and feel that playful movement. Maybe make circles with your wrists or your ankles. Are they tender? It's okay, you're getting stronger. You're growing, you're changing, you're evolving. If it feels good, gently rock your head from side to side. And then draw your knees in for a little squeeze and roll onto your favorite side, resting on your side for just a little while. And when you feel ready, press yourself upright to seated, coming to seated in a comfortable cross-legged position. Once you arrive, bring your hands to prayer position, Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Your gaze might be down over your fingertips, or keep your eyes closed and take a moment in gratitude for your physical body. I like to refer to the body as the temple for the soul. Thank yourself for taking good care of your temple on this journey. Draw your hands up to the third eye, the space between your eyebrows. What an honor to guide your modified practice today. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much. You've made it 25 days out of 30. We're almost there. Hang in there. We can do this together. 30 yoga classes, 30 days in a row, and each class around 30 minutes long. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much for your comments. Keep them coming.